Hey guys, welcome to Books, Business, and Bullshit podcast. We have a special guest, Miss Crystal Thomas. We are discussing the pandemic and how the pandemic has affected you. So we would like to ask you, Crystal, how has the pandemic affected you in regards to finances, personally, relationships, overall, how has the pandemic affected you?
The pandemic has affected me positive and negative. The negative is that I put on some weight.
I think everybody did.
I don't want to blame it on the pandemic, it's just me
You
eating.
looking at me because I weigh weight, or you looking at me like?
You gained a little weight.
How it affected me positively is that I got to earn more money with my business.
Okay.
Adding little trinkets to my Sis You Got This collection, helping me help my granddaughter write her book and get started.
Another author in my family.
So it just it gave me time to think about a lot of things positively and move on to the next phase of what I want to do, which is open up my business.
Awesome. So you said it affected your business positively. Like, how did it affect your business positively? Did you see yourself making like more money during the pandemic? Did you see like a period where it slowed down, or was it like continuous throughout the
It actually didn't slow down. It actually progressed because when I went away, I returned and a young lady approached me and asked me, did I want to start a collection off of my title, Sis You Got This, which I then brought a brand out with my wine glasses, coffee mugs, pajama sets, and I mean my cash flow was just constantly, and it still is constantly coming in, along with continuing to sell the book.
That's awesome.
Put that up there. Yeah. Sis, you got this.
This book is about growth. It's about where I came from and where I am.
Okay.
And it's a totally different me.
So do you think you've grown since your book?
A whole lot.
Okay.
A whole lot.
That's amazing. All right, so you did mention that the business has affected you negatively. So, like the pandemic. So, what part of the pandemic negatively affect you? Like
it mess with you mentally. Like you don't know what's going to happen next. When it first came out, you got to stay in the house. And for me, we were frontline, so we had to go outside, be with the clients no matter what.
Yeah.
So even though I had nobody to go home to like spread anything if it was to happen,
right.
But just thinking about it mentally, like what if I do get it, and how can I, like even my partner, like when my partner like had the virus, I had to think mentally myself, like I'm
oh wow.
I'm with my grandkids. I see my family, like, but staying in the house those 14 days, it made me a little like more leery and aware that you do have to constantly wash your hands, which you should do anyway every day, all day, and mask up.
Mm-hmm.
So how has it affected you?
It didn't affect me.
The pandemic hasn't affected you?
Nah, money's still coming in.
Okay.
Heavy. I think I learned a lot from the pandemic, though. Made me more mature. It made me more mature. So, focus on the kids more. That's really it.
Has there been any negative with the pandemic?
Yeah. Oh man. Negativity. Let me think. What's negative out of the pandemic that I think the negativity is the stimulus checks that everybody be getting and I haven't.
Okay, I'm gonna put that down.
They think that's funny, but that's a serious thing. I believe the government giving out a lot of money, and I didn't touch none of that. All 3 times or 2 times, how many times it came out. So
You didn't touch it or receive it?
I haven't received none of it. None of it. So that's how I feel about that.
I mean, I kind of agree with Ron because a lot of people got it that didn't deserve it. A lot of people got it that didn't work a day in their life.
Yeah.
We got people
They got
out here
stimulus?
Stimulus,
Or they got PUA?
Both.
Okay, so how would somebody that didn't work receive the stimulus? Because I thought they went off of your tax returns. The stimulus was strictly off your tax returns. So how would somebody that didn't work receive the stimulus check? Right? They went off of your tax returns. That's all they went off of. Like how much you made in 2019 and 2020. So I think it was PUA a lot of people was eating from. Like people that wasn't eligible for it and then those business loans.
Say if you had a family member that you claimed just for earned income, you still are going to get it. So
right.
Now right to the working class people, and like they said, $75,000 or more, you didn't receive it.
$70,000 or more, you can't get it. I hate that he tried to split
Ryan is sitting there saying, my friend, like we had the whole conversation, like he was angry, went to bed mad because he's like, I work hard every day. Why?
Right, but they already right. But the people that first of all, it was $75K if you were single. I'm not single. I have dependents, so I'm head of household. So for head of household, it was $112K. Right. For me, I feel like those that have dependents, not single filers, because the income limits was a lot lower, but I feel like those that have dependents, if you are one of the higher earners and you're not under the federal poverty guideline, I feel like you eating all year long. I feel like you eat all year long. Yeah, you want some free money. Everybody wants some free money, but it's people out here. I'm not saying the ones that took advantage of the situation, but I feel like it's people out here really struggling, really living paycheck to paycheck. Here it is. Most people making over $75K. They can buy what they want. They can travel when they want. They can do what they want. They can buy nice gifts. They can get expensive sneakers and stuff like that. You know, they can do that, those type of things, versus those, it's really people out here that's struggling that needed that extra money.
So for the struggle as you see it, because as I see it, the people that did get it, majority
was steaming.
No, what I'm just saying, they sitting here. You in the lines at the Louis Vuitton store, the liquor store.
You sound just like me. Like, and we're here.
But I use mine for my bills because number one, like bills come every day.
Right.
They come every month. So use it wisely. That's what I would say. Use it wisely, and a lot of people didn't. And it shows when I went into the liquor store to get some wine, and they said if you can't use debit cards because they're trying to cut down on spotting the cards with the money, the PUA, I guess, money on it or whatever. That's just not.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
I just feel,
it's crazy.
I agree with you. Like I said, I just feel like that they're trying to split us up. It shouldn't be a certain amount. Like the cutoff shouldn't be 70,000 or 75,000 or like you said, head of household 110, 120,000. It shouldn't be like that. Everybody deserves it.
I agree.
If you're giving it to people that's making under 70, you should give it. The people that make money still deserve it too.
Right.
We all hit.
Yeah.
But you know,
everybody is affected by
we come from an era where our kids didn't know we was getting tax returns. Now you got the kids calling.
Right.
Right.
Well, me and they said that. That's what I told. I said people like. Well, for me, I know you can agree. With your grandkids and your kids, I take care of my kids all year long. You ain't getting no money unless I choose to give you some. Because I still got to take care of you during this pandemic, after this pandemic. So I'm grateful that my kids kind of understand that. Like I threw Nene something because she's older, you know, so I gave her something extra for her business, but she didn't expect it. She was grateful. She said thank you. And she knew that last one, I did receive something for her. The first two, I didn't. But the last one, I didn't. But she got something from all, you know, she gets something all year long. So she really wasn't looking for a handout.
You know, another thing, when you say how did the pandemic it affected me, like far as social media also, with them giving you the Citizens Act and all of that stuff. It made me like have anxiety to the 1,000 power, like worried about my kids in the street. Not only my kids period. Every time you turn around is a young black male dead or female. But you know what's crazier? You could pay for your cell phone bill, but you can't get life insurance.
Right. Do you think that mental health has like risen with the pandemic?
In my field, I see it every day, so yes.
What you think?
Mental health?
Like, do you think like a lot of people mental issues have?
I think it has, but I think we're throwing that around too much.
Loosely.
I agree. When a situation happened, that's it's mental
automatic.
Health. It's mental health. I think that's mental health. Like, how can you say that's mental health rate off because somebody was acting crazy. That's mental health. That's mental health. Like we're blaming mental health.
I don't
like,
think the people really educated on mental health. Like you said that you seen an increase in your job, right? So just a quick story. Yesterday we was at my mom barbecue and we was there and this man walked up to us like yelling, screaming, acting a fool. Like I'm stuck with the grill, like what is wrong with this guy? But it took me a while. First I thought he was just like an angry neighbor, but it took me like a couple minutes to realize like, okay, this man is crazy. So I was like, I'm telling my sister like, oh, he crazy, just ignore him or whatever. So my sister cursed him out. The man acting a fool in the middle of the street, he ended up calling the cops talking about somebody was getting murdered. It was like 4 cop cars deep. But I say that to say like mental health is real, but I don't think people recognize mental health symptoms. Like it's a lot of people that's dealing with anxiety and they may pick up a blunt or they may pick up a drink or they may pick up something else. I personally know that I have increased drinking, even if it's wine every day. I increased drinking during the pandemic. That's a coping mechanism. Like, but I think that many of us, I think when you take psychology and stuff like that, you kind of can recognize the symptoms. So I'm not saying that people don't, I don't really think the people with mental health issues ain't running around saying, I got a mental health issue. They don't even know it. They out here getting high every night. They getting drunk every night. They trying to numb the pain so they not thinking. So I feel like the pandemic, because we went from, now we kind of adapted to it. Like we used to walking around with masks on. We're used to stuff closing early. But before it was like a shock.
I still forget my mask every time I get out my car.
Yeah, before it was like,
been over a year.
Our freedom just got took, kind of like our freedom really got taken away. Like we heard of a virus and the next thing you know, we was locked down in the house. I know for me dealing with it, being a frontline worker, mentally it was a lot because I didn't know if I was going to get sick. I didn't know if I was going to take it home to my kids.
Hey world, I just want to put this out there. Shout out to all the frontline workers out there. We're really out there and it's serious. That's very serious, man.
I will say my personal relationship got better during the pandemic because I think maybe, you know, he was getting the stimulus money or something. I don't know.
He was broke before?
No, he wasn't broke before.
So why did the stimulus?
Because I got some really, really nice gifts during this pandemic. So maybe it was like stimmy, I don't know.
Or was it?
That was a joke. That was a joke.
How do you feel about the vaccination, the shot, the vaccine?
Vaccines normally take years to develop, right? So, you know, I feel like, in my opinion, just my opinion, I feel like when people compare the vaccine, you know, the flu shot or the measles shot or, you know, whatever, rubella, whatever the case may be, I feel like it's comparing apples to oranges because you had one that you had years to develop, years to perfect, years to do trial and error with recipients who were compensated if there was side effects. And I think medically we know it can be a lot of side effects anytime you medically decide to inject anything in your body or do a procedure. But I feel like the scientists had a long time to study those other vaccines versus this one.
But there's a lot of stuff that wasn't there back then. Like these different computers, the technology they were using.
Right.
All of that wasn't here then. And trust me, I thought about everything you said. I was totally against it until I watched Tyler Perry with the 2 doctors. And what they were talking about, and then I said I had to think for myself. Do I need this? And in the field, in the line that I work in, we follow the masses so much. I think a lot of people don't even think for
the
themselves
masses
anymore.
is getting it though, right?
Yeah,
I want to say more people getting it than not getting it.
I would see more
you see more
people. I see more.
I don't know, because my mom got hers from Temple, and she said the line was around the corner. Well, and that was like in the hood, and she got her second one.
Where you get my friend from? Actually put me on a list, but then one of my girlfriend's husband got me right in.
Yeah, because now they opened it to the general public. Like it's open. CVS is now ready to offer.
That's where I got a CVS on.
Yeah, CVS is now offering it. Yeah,
right there. 12 and 6 will be
okay.
Do you think that more African American people have been negatively affected by COVID, morbidity, like in dying and things, versus other races?
I can't answer that question because I don't know that to be sure. Okay. But what I do not like is that when it first happened, everybody automatically got put on a ventilator, and then you hear because the funeral home was offered this, the doctor was offered that, but it was a lot of. I wouldn't even say African Americans. It was a lot of people. Because as soon as you went in the hospital.
Well, I think in the beginning in the healthcare field, most people, we didn't know what it was. So we were afraid. Doctors too. Doctors was afraid. Doctors were not going into patients' rooms. Now they're not afraid. That they're not afraid because we know more information.
But that was the whole thing, is to get everybody's attention. No matter how much they scared everybody, I got your attention. Now, for more than half these people.
Right. So if in the beginning it was to get their attention, why was they getting your attention? You don't think they was trying to get your attention and they was trying to scare you, and they put that out in the media that all these people was dying so you could get the vaccine?
I believe that's so.
Because now granted, we lost a lot of patients in my field, but I seen 100-year-old people fight this and beat it and fight it 2-3 times. So that scare tactic that they used in the beginning, do you possibly believe that it could have been because they wanted you to take the vaccine?
Yeah.
Because right now, for instance, COVID is on the rise, but it's not being reported in the media. Why is it not being reported? The cases is back up.
Why? Because the scientists is getting their money.
Not to mention, they done vaccinated a good majority of the people. The last thing they can do is tell you COVID is on the rise, because it doesn't correlate with the people that have been vaccinated if after 2 weeks. So this is my thing with the vaccine. I know you got it. I know Crystal, for those that don't know. She's a good friend of mine, and she's one of OGW All-Stars. But this doctor office might be getting a 20% cut from Johnson & Johnson. So they're going to push whoever's lining that pocket. So I just say that we need to need to educate ourselves.
That's true. Crystal Veney on Facebook. I'm Crystal at her best on Instagram. And do I have any upcoming events? No, but I am looking forward to opening up my business, which is a recovery house for women in recovery. Coming soon.
Nice.
That's personal. Oh, since Ron want to bring it up, I have less than 30 days to be 50 years old. Woo! So it's going to be amazing at all. Nope. I have a child that's 33 and 25. What? Listen, I'm going to live my blessed life.